Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a whole new episode of Full Steam Ahead. I'm your host, Zoe, with my co-host on the other side, Cantu. The weekend, how was it, man? Tell me about it.
It's hot. It was hot. I, I I hope everybody was safe throughout the storm. I've been staying at my in-laws for past few days because my grandparents' house where I stay at didn't have any power until a few hours ago. So I'm glad that's helping. I hope everybody has power. All the listeners out there. I hope you have power. Hope everybody's safe. Because it's hot. It's brutal.
Yeah, I mean, how long has it been though since with you having no power?
Since Thursday when the storm rolled around. So like it's been what,
What, Friday,
almost two
Saturday,
days. Like if you count both half
2 or 3 days?
of Thursday, it's 2 days if you count. Oh wait, today's Sunday. Yeah, 2 days. Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days. Yeah,
Yeah, luckily for me, I think which night was it I told you? I think Friday night or Saturday night, one of those nights we had regained
that's
power.
good.
So
Yeah,
yeah, and like you
it's
said, man,
hot. Yeah, it's
heck
been
yeah,
hard.
dude. I don't like the humidity just from that, but Houston is now the highs. It's going to be 91, 96 next Sunday. So be prepared. Be prepared for these Houston summer heats coming through the
But did you
city.
but did you know it's supposedly I had read that it feels hotter because of like some solar flares that the sun is doing, so it's making it feel hotter, and that's why I don't even remember how you can see like the northern lights from Houston. Like if you were like the outskirts of Houston, that was a big thing for that too because solar flares.
Science, I don't even know what to say really about that. You're the one that's on that. But episode 180, Astros Brewed the Crew. The Astros played a great series against the Milwaukee Brewers, and we had talked about it last episode that the Astros need to have a quality series against a team like that, especially. I mean, they're what, first in the NL Central right now? They're playing great
Yeah,
baseball. And honestly, too, the Astros could have swept this series. Well, we'll talk about that Justin Verlander at bat against William Contreras, which is the hottest hitter right now, not in just in the National League, I would say in Major League Baseball, in the whole league. I would say about him. Hey guys, Joshua P. Trash, and then Asher Craig. Good evening, gentlemen. I think that's what he meant to say is good, not
yeah.
God. But we got a jam-packed episode. Recap that Brewer series for y'all. We'll talk a little bit about the outfield depth because on news from the train station, Chas McCormick looks like he'll be coming back soon. So we'll talk about the depth, what's going to happen, what moves we'll probably see here coming up in the next upcoming days. Who's invited to the Carne Asada pitching preview against the Los Angeles Angels? News from the train station, and maybe one topic, two topics around the horn. But Angel, get us started with what you could tell the listeners.
Honestly, you know where to follow us on X. I think I said X on Twitter, Instagram, uh, TikTok and X. We're at Full Steam Ahead. On Instagram, we're FSA Full Steam Ahead. You know, where we get your podcast as well, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. We are there. Tell your friends, and hey, we got to 100 subscribers.
103.
103. There you
103
go.
subscribers. We talked about it. We told y'all we'll be doing a giveaway this coming week. We're saving it for the weekend, but obviously with the whole power situation, the hurricane coming through Houston, which was not even a hurricane, but it felt like it.
Felt like it.
Yeah. Well, we'll do a bobblehead. We'll even reveal which one we're going to be throwing out for this coming week. But Angel, real quick, let's talk about the standings of the AL West because the Astros have been playing great baseball. 8-2 of their last 10 games. Seattle Mariners right now hold that number one spot, 25 and 25 and 22. The Texas Rangers, 24 and 24, which both those teams lost today from the Orioles beating the Mariners and the Angels beating the Rangers. And then obviously the Astros, 21 and 26. And I guess we could throw in Oakland, 19 and 30. So the Astros are 4 games behind first place of the Seattle Mariners. And we talked about it too, that, this team, just depending on these series coming up, I think they changed since the Mexico City series. Take away that Yankees one. They played great baseball against Detroit, played excellent baseball against Oakland, and then even this series against Milwaukee, they played some great baseball. Overall pitching, starting pitching, bullpen, offense. I think they've looked like themselves from these past years.
Yeah, and you just got to remember the Astros have played the second toughest schedule so far this season. Again, I think for the Astros that really doesn't, matter because again, at the end of the day, those are the teams you have to beat in the playoffs, right? But I guess that can kind of like factor in about this slow start. But it's just a mixture of everything, right? Tough schedule, injuries, pitching, not everything clicking. It's just all those factors coming in. But like you said, the Astros have been getting hot at the right time. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. Seattle is 5-5 in the last 10 games, and then Texas is 3-7. So the Astros were able to lower that gap, take advantage of the struggling other two teams, and climb that way to the standings.
Yeah, and then really it's because of all three of the phases of the game. You're talking about your starting pitching, which has done a great job. It was mediocre this series, I would say. Hunter Brown wasn't his best. Justin Verlander was a shocker. What? No. Did Hunter Brown? Yeah, he did pitch that first game.
Yeah.
But them two guys, I was shocked about the Verlander one. Verlander, honestly, it was a swing away from being a good series for him. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But starting pitching wasn't bad. The offense looked really great. We'll talk about that here in a minute. And then bullpen. Bullpen has looked really well in these upcoming days. Brian Abreu looks like he's settled down. Ryan Presley, of course, is dealing with a sore finger, I believe. And then Josh Hader looking like himself that the Astros were promising to get. But like Houston X Factor 10 has says, how often do we see the catcher of any team batting in the second hole? Venezuelans have taken the lead by storm, of course. That is very true. National League winner of the MVP last year was Ronald Acuna. He's Venezuelan. Andres Jimenez, Platinum Glove winner last year, Cleveland Guardians. Jose Altuve doing Jose Altuve things. William Contreras, the way he's hitting right now, he has to be top 3 in the MVP voting as of right now in the early part of the season because he's leading a lot of offensive categories, and you really don't see that from a catcher especially. Usually you think about the American League, well, just in the league overall, hitting catchers, you're thinking of Will Smith, Ali Rutschman. I'm thinking Rutschman. And then Salvador Perez as well. Will Smith, you could throw there. And William Contreras right now is taking the league by storm, especially the National League in that MVP voting.
And also, if you want to learn more about other Venezuelan players, Lorenzo has a good story coming up of a Venezuelan player from the Brewers. And also check out the Jackson Trio story that dropped today.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, Angel did a Jackson Churio, as well as Andres Jimenez when he had his time here against the Guardians and the Astros. But yeah, the Venezuelans right now are taken by storm. I think it's great for Latinos in baseball in general. Obviously, it's been Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, but Venezuelans right now, they're on the come up, I'd say.
Absolutely.
But away from the Latino references, and let's talk about Jake Meyers because that guy has been on a tear. Jake from Rake Farm, I guess you could say. 7 for 12, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs in this series. His last 7 games right now, Angel, 12 for 24. That's a 500 batting average, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs, 2 walks with the 833 slugging percentage. Right now, his OPS is the second best on the team. Kyle Tucker obviously leading that front with the OPS over 1. Jake Meyers has a 920 OPS. Best believe Joe Espada is going to keep that guy in the lineup, especially the way he's swinging the bat. Obviously, everybody's right about the defense, how much range he could cover and all that. But the way he's hitting the ball right now, that's just an extra plus, especially for the bottom part of the lineup.
Absolutely. No, I mean, we can say it better yourself. That was great.
Yeah, and then since we're continuing on with the bottom order, the production there has been just great. Jake Meyers, like I said, Mauricio Dubon, Victor Caratini, Joey Loperfido, which he had a 2-hit day today on Sunday's game. 12 for 34 if you combine all those players' stats in this series. That's a 353 batting average, a double, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Of course, a lot of it had mainly came from Jake Meyers, but being able to put yourself on base, like, Joey Loperfido having those at bats, swinging that first pitch, being aggressive at the plate, Victor Caratini as well. Mauricio Dubon, of course, with the story with him with runners in scoring position, he's done a fabulous job doing that. And if you can have that from the bottom part of the order, and when these guys on top for the Astros like Altuve, Tucker, Alvarez, which right now he's in a slow start, Pena get going, this lineup, and it's on paper. If you're looking on paper, it's a top 5 lineup, maybe top 3 in Major League Baseball. But if you could get 1 through 9 collaborating through this whole season, then these guys should be making their way on top as the first seed at the end of the postseason.
Absolutely. And that was a problem early on where the production was on the top, in that middle of the pack. And then when there was runners on, it was kind of hard to get that offensive production in the bottom order. But a great turnaround for that has been leading to success for the Astros.
Yeah, I mean, and then of course, right now Yiner Diaz is on a slow start, and we were talking about with the Ordon Alvarez as well. He barely got his first day off this season,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, it's his first
So
day.
yeah, so I mean, just having him regroup and get his thoughts together. Like I said, this game is about mental toughness, and right now, Jordan Alvarez is one of the best hitters. Everybody knows that. And I mean, he's one of the dangerous hitters to face when he steps in the box. But as of right now, I mean, Jordan hasn't been contributing, and that's probably a good sign to see from the Astros because if you could get him going and what the bottom part of the lineup, Jake Meyers is doing, um, of course, Altuve has his days, Tucker has his days. It's always a one person, you're handing it on to the next person. And right now, that's what it's looking like from this lineup. And shoot, they scored 9 runs in 2 games against a team like this, especially from the Brewers and their bullpen and their rotation. I think it's a positive sign to see.
Absolutely.
And then last but not least, we got to give a shout out to this guy, Spencer Arrighetti. I mean, he had a great game. Of course, you look at the stats, it doesn't look really great because when he left I think it was the bottom of the seventh,
Yeah, bottom
either the
seven.
bottom of seven or bottom six. He left the bases loaded. That last batter that he faced, it was a kind of a miscommunication between him and Victor Caratini to see who can grab that ball and throw the guy out at first. But at the end of the day, I mean, he pitched really well. 6 1/3, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. He did generate 10 swing and misses, a lot of soft contact. That's where you could come from this outing from him. Got a lot of soft contact from the Brewers hitters and kept his off speeds low and out of the zone. That was going to be the key for him if he was going to have a great start, just like he did against, I believe it was the Oakland series, right? When he got his first win,
Mm-hmm.
then that was the way he was going to do it. And sure enough, he did that exceptionally well against a lineup like the Milwaukee Brewers. Career highs in pitches with a 99 and innings pitched with the 6 1/3 of inning. But like we talked about, Angel, I mean, this guy is continuing to learn each and every start. He's picking the brains, especially with one of the best veteran pitchers in the clubhouse. And it looks like each and every start he is learning and developing into that top prospect the Astros were hoping for.
Absolutely. I mean, he's done an amazing job improving. Having that first rocky start, coming out of things, and then another one following that. You know, a lot of people don't have the strong mentality to come overcome that, and just I guess his confidence by the Astros, confidence by him, and being able to turn things around, game planning with Victor Caratini, Yanier Diaz, and like you said, having that veteran presence in the clubhouse as Justin Verlander, even Lance McCullers, and their lockers aren't so far away from each other too. So I think his locker is close to Christian Javier's too. So I'm sure, all that communication there is really attributing to his success.
Yeah, he's looking like he's getting better and better each and every start. This was barely his 7th career start, which we'll talk about here in a minute. What's going to happen with the future roster moves that the Astros are going to make? But real quick, Houston X Factor, our bullpen has turned the corner, and that is the biggest sign this team is back in business. Yeah, Taylor Scott right now is looking great on the mound. Seth Martinez, of course, is doing good. Rafael Montero is the biggest one, I would say, changing that 23 season around and making him look like the 2022 Rafael Montero that the Astros were hoping for. But when you get that back end going, like Abreu, Presley, as well as Hader, then this bullpen is just going to continue going at the top.
Absolutely. And then, like Lorenzo said, some of the Astros are coming back. I think Chas McCormick and Jose Abreu should be making a comeback soon. Just to give you some updates on them, Chas McCormick has gone 1 for 14 through his rehab starts in Corpus Christi, but per Brian McTaggart, he will be coming back most likely. We join the Astros this week is what it's looking for, and so with Jose Abreu, he should be back soon. But then the Astros get into a little pickle there in the outfield because all those guys you named earlier in the bottom of the order production and Jake Meyers, they're all outfield. Besides Victor Caratini, most of them play outfield, including Dubon in there. I know Dubon can play both infield and outfield, right? But you've seen Dubon mostly in the outfield, and it kind of puts a tight jam there because obviously there's only 3 outfield spots, but the outfield consists right now of Jake Meyers, Kyle Tucker, Jordan Alvarez, Trey Cabbage, Joey Loperfido. And then even first base, you have Abreu, Singleton, and Dubon that can play first base as well. So now that their comeback is on the verge of happening, right? Do you think Chas McCormick starts off like right off the bat when he returns? Do you think he's in that lineup right away, playing left field? Left field. What do you think?
I think he gets one start in left, giving Jordan Alvarez that DH. I think Espada is very comfortable keeping Jordan in the designated hitter spot, but I expect him probably to start as soon as he comes back from Corpus. He'll probably start that first game. Jake Meyers probably plays center field, and then maybe it just depends. It's a game. It's a 3-game series against the Angels. So I see this as happening as a one start. Give him the day off for Tuesday, and then start him again on Wednesday, or going back to back starts, giving him that off day on Wednesday because the Astros do have an off day on Thursday. So you can either go either way for that. But the way Jake Meyers is swinging the bat right now, I just do not see Meyers getting out of the lineup anytime soon, especially with Verlander. I think Verlander has a preference of having Mauricio Dubon be in the outfield. I think every Astros fan has seen that last year, especially when Dubon was playing in the outfield spot. But I do expect Chas McCormick to start at least game one of this series, and then maybe possibly a day off and then start again.
Absolutely, I think I agree with you there. I wouldn't be surprised if, like you said, Chas McCormick starts that first game in left field, and it maybe see some DH as well. But I just don't see that happening just because you got a guy like Jordan Alvarez, who you want to save like the legs as well. Gagne Diaz has been DHing too as well, so I think could be a mixture of both. But I mean, like you hit it right there on the coffin there. I think he comes back.
What do you think about the 1-for-14 start from Chas McCormick with the hooks?
Again, like I've always said,
are you taking it like the Christian Javier, the Justin Verlander?
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Like at that point, you like for Chas McCormick, you haven't played baseball in a while, so you're working on timing, your mechanics, your foot placement, like kind of getting the foot to hitting again. So I'm not too worried about that. Now, if he plays these 2 games, goes over for both, maybe you want to give him a day off. Again, like kind of get his head right, because again, timing might be off, but I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, you want to read that comment right there?
Oh, for sure. Meyers is one of the decisions Spotter really hit a home run with to start the season. Many, including myself, thought giving Meyers a starting center fielder was a bit ambitious, but he's on fire. Yeah, and that's been what Dana Brown's been teaching too. So it's a mixture of Joe Spotter and Dana Brown as well, kind of trusting Jake Meyers in that row, and so far so good for them.
Confidence too was a key thing coming into this season for him. Spring training. That was the one thing Joe Espada and Dana Brown had mentioned about Jake Meyers. What's the number one thing you're looking for him? Confidence. And right now, I think his confidence is pretty damn high.
Now, I have a follow-up question. What about first base? So you have Singleton, who's been hitting the ball pretty good. They're doing a good job in his own regard. And then you have Jose Abreu. So it's kind of hard to take away the job from John Singleton, because I don't think he's done anything to lose it. Like, he's played great defense, has been pretty good at the plate as well. Giving you production when he needs to. But you also have Abreu, whose track record speaks for himself. I think once Abreu comes back, Dubon doesn't see any first base time, or I don't think Joey Loperfido is an option there. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Singleton's going to start a little bit more of the games when Abreu does come back. And I mean, we've heard it before about his track record, back of the baseball card and all that other stuff. But the way Singleton's hitting last 7 games, I mean, he's hitting 280, close to 300. I mean, on base percentage is 400, 7 out of 25, 2 RBIs, 5 walks. I mean, the guy has great eye at the plate. And I think bringing Abreu, like, it's a difference thing before Chas McCormick and Jose Abreu. I'm like we talked about. Chas McCormick is going to start that first game. Jose Abreu, his first game, I don't think they'll start him as soon as he comes and rejoins the team. I think Singleton's going to take that spot until Jose Abreu, you start to get a feel of things. You start to see him hit the ball more. Until he proves that he's able to be consistent offensively, then that's when I think the Astros will make that move of bringing back Abreu, as the everyday first baseman.
Although I do agree with you, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a platoon row more than Abreu earning a back row. So I think, Abreu's going to get his due. I don't think they're going to shy away from him. Like that, at the end of the day, Abreu is still their starting first baseman. No matter what, like the production he's done in the past, right? Obviously, he's in a slump. Jose Abreu is going to be the starting first baseman. So I think just maybe, for example, Abreu plays 2 games, just Singleton plays another 2 games where they switch back and forth, or depending on the pitcher, like pitching
Yeah, the
matchups too.
matchups. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can see that. I could also see Abreu DHing. So like if Chas McCormick gets the day off, or it's not in the lineup, or he plays center field, like giving Jake Meyers a day off, like Abreu could be that DH option too.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what these roster moves look like.
And then we have another comment saying, who's been the biggest surprise so far? Singleton, Caratini, Blanco, or Meyers?
I'll go first on this one. I think it was Singleton for me.
Okay.
Because I've been vocal about it. I didn't think Singleton, shout him out. I mean, he's been proving everybody wrong. I didn't think he was going to be the everyday first baseman after Abreu left. I didn't. Well, obviously, yeah, but I don't think anybody expect the success right now that Singleton is having, like at a consistent basis. The way he's playing defense, the way he's been hitting the ball, he's hit the ball really well. He has a great eye at the plate, like we talked about. But I just never thought that Singleton was going to stay with this organization. Like even when Abreu comes back, I think they're still going to stay with him. But with them two there, I thought he was going to be gone pretty soon. So he's been the biggest surprise to me. Like I said, shout him out because the way he's producing and helping this ball club, I think it's really beneficial where they're at. Without him, I think they might be losing a couple more games, I'd say.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I think we had a conversation about signing a Trey Cabbage, kind of like removing Singleton from that role altogether. But although you're not wrong, I agree with you too. That John Singleton has been a great a pleasant surprise. You would say.
Great story too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go with Ronel Blanco, just because what he's mean for this pitching staff, and yes, he did a no hitter, the first start of the season, but having that consistency still there. I remember I was telling you, I was like, there's gonna be it could be a start. Like, I think it's like his last few starts. I think Ronel Blanco's gonna be, it's gonna have a tough time here. I think he's gonna get blown up, but no, being able to stay consistent, still pitch his game, that's surprising in and itself. And he's been the ace of this pitching staff, because when the Astros have gone in these losing streaks, he was the number one guy you would want to go, like the most reliable guy coming out of the pen, like the guy the Astros felt confident having on the mound. I think that's been a big factor for him. But I do have a follow-up question. So we talked about that outfield, right? Jake Meyers, Kyle Tucker, and Albert Trey Cabbage, Joey Loperfido. What happens to Joey Loperfido? Because honestly, once Chas McCormick comes back, that's his spot. Like an injury doesn't cause you to lose your spot, right? And I think that's what happened here with Chas. So what's your take on that?
I think for the first spot, I think Jose Abreu, which we'll talk here on the train station pretty soon. But with Chas McCormick coming up soon, I think Trey Cabbage gets set down first.
Okay.
When Jose Abreu, whenever his time comes, there's a possibility that Joey Loperfido might go down. Because who would you move down than that, the minor leaguer himself? I mean, it's really hard to decide who on. To me, I think it's a smart move to move him down too, because you're letting him get more consistent at bats in AAA. You obviously know he's going to be starting more games. There's even a possibility that he could even start at first base, which right now there is no future at first base for the Astros. We don't know what the success of Jose Abreu is going to be in the second stint of this season for him. So there's a possibility that, when Chas McCormick comes up, Trey Cabbage is going to be the first one going down. When Jose Abreu comes, I won't be surprised if Joey Loperfido is the one that gets optioned. And I think it's a smart move for the Astros to do, because the future of first base, no one's there. And if you could get Joey Loperfido a little bit more reps over there, I think it's going to look really great for the Astros, because he's already shown he could hit at this level.
Yeah. I think you've been hitting him on the conferences. I agree with you 100% of the way. The only thing is, I wouldn't be surprised if Joey Loperfido gets more reps in the outfield than he does at first base. Now, I see your point. Like, again, after Jose Abreu, there's really nobody else. But I think Joey Loperfido, just in general, feels more comfortable in the outfield. And, again, that's his best position. But, again, he did play some first base at Duke or in college. But, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think he does get his reps at first, but I think you'll be seeing more in the outfield when he goes back to AAA.
Yeah, and let us know in the comments who do y'all think who gets option. Who's been the biggest surprise? That's a great question by Houston X Factor. I mean, because there's a lot of options you could go there. Singleton, like you said, Caratini, Ronel Blanco, Jake Meyers. Let us know in the comments what y'all think, and then obviously too who gets option coming up pretty soon.
Man, but what I've noticed about Carantini is he's ice cold. He has that clutch gene. Like no matter what the situation is, like no pressure. Like it's been crazy.
Yeah, the two extra inning games that the Astros have won this year were off of Victor Caratini.
Yeah, he has that cold blood. Being able
Uh,
to.
jo-
But
yeah, Joshua, real quick. I think Loperfido should get option, and then he said Singleton has been the biggest surprise, which I think for a lot of us, yeah. Even Ronel Blanco, I think the way he's been pitching, it's been really phenomenal. Because right now, I think he's like the Astros ace at this point.
absolutely. But it's time for my favorite segment, the Carne Asada.
Yes,
Then
okay,
make my
okay, okay.
music.
I got music. I got music this time.
All right, let's see it. Let's hear it. Oh, there you go. I like that one.
You're tipping on your 4-4s to this one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's Santa Fe Clan for those of you who are wondering.
Good song.
Absolutely,
Good song.
absolutely. But
Start us off.
yeah, who's gonna be hosting and cooking the meat this time? It's gonna be Jake Meyers, Jake the Rake. Meyers will be hosting some chicken fajita night over there at the Jake Meyers crib. He's been 7 for 12, 583 this series, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, and 3 runs. And like you said yourself, he's been on fire lately. He doesn't keep it rolling. A close second. I was debating between these two, so I'll have Cow Tiger bring the tortillas for the chicken fajitas. He's honestly by far been the Astros' best hitter this season, the most consistent hitter this season as well. 15 home runs, which ties him for the first in the major leagues. He went 4 for 10 this series. That's a good 400. 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, 2 runs, a stolen base, and 3 walks. Again, he's been getting on base by any means necessary, and that great eye on the plate is contributing to lots of runs. As you can see, he scored 2. Spencer Arrighetti is going to be bringing the tortillas again, much improved, 6 and a third of an inning.
Damn, we're having 2 tortillas at this Carne Asada?
Oh, my bad. Rice. My bad. It's moving rice. My bad. You know what? It could be flour and corn.
I'm about to be flour and corn.
Flour and corn. There you go. But he's going to be bringing the rice, 6 and a third innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Again, a lot better for him. So excited to see what he does after. And then who's going to be bringing the beans? Give me Jeremy Pena, 4 for 12, 1 home run, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs.
You think Jeremy Pena is like a black beans kind of person? Pinto beans? What do you think?
I'll go with pinto beans.
I think he's a black beans kind of guy.
You think so?
You don't see that the muscle that he has? Black beans are really healthy. I don't know.
I think the Dominicans do eat a lot of black beans, so yeah, it could be right.
You never know. Angel, I got a question for you.
Oh, I think it's I've listened to the song once, so I know the artist is Santa Fe Clan, and I think it's called Mi Bandera. So
no, por mi mexicano.
Oh, por mi Mexico.
Oh, no, not mexicano. Mi Mexico. Por mi Mexico.
There you go. Lorenzo with the Spanish.
Ashworth Craig, real quick before we get the pitching preview. Abreu's defense has been atrocious this season. I hope he worked on it when he was in Florida. I think he's worked on a bunch of things. Hitting, defense. Obviously, everybody knows that Jeff Bagwell is over there at the complex, the trainer as well, from Francis Romero on that video. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Do you think this is the last dance for him? Like this is like his last opportunity before the Astros do something?
Could be. Yeah.
It'll be interesting. I don't know what's the plan at first base. Like I said, there's no future at first base at this moment. And if the Astros decide to possibly put Joey Loperfido, have a little bit more reps over there, that could be your guy.
Perfect.
We'll have to see. But let's get the pitching preview going for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. The Halos will be visiting Minute Maid Park, and this will be the first time that these clubs will clash against each other. They're 18 and 29. I think they won the series against the Texas Rangers, I believe, at Globe Life Field.
Let me double
Um,
check.
I want to say I'm not 100% sure, but 4-6 in their last 10 games. When Angels doing that, let's get Monday rolling. 7:10 start time. Reed Detmers is going for the Angels with 3-4 record, 5.19 ERA. He'll be going against La Grasa himself, Framber Valdez, with a that is not the right record, which we'll skip his record. But Detmers, on the other hand, his last start versus St. Louis, 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. The Astros have seen a lot of Detmers through the years with the Angels. He's been one of the guys that's been a part of that organization for a while. Excuse me. Last year versus Houston, 3 games, 10.13 ERA, 13 in the third, 18 hits, 15 earned runs, 8 strikeouts when you combine 3 of his starts. Andrew, you want to give me a guess who hit those home runs against Detmers?
I remember. I don't know. Maybe Alvarez seems like the. I guess a safe answer.
It is not the safe answer for this one. It is Mr. John Singleton. Not just one, two. 2 home runs. I want to say it was that game when he
That's
first
first game
returned to
back.
Houston.
Yeah, it's first game back.
I want to say it was that one. So, Big Bad John. Maybe there'd be a couple home runs here for him at Minute Maid Park again. Maybe reminisce about that time and do the same thing. But the par for Detmers, which has been struggling for him for this year, has been his 4-seam fastball. He's been throwing that pitch a lot lately. And the go-getter right there, I would say, is attacking that 4-seamer right away. -5 run value. If we look at his spray charts on StatCast, leaves the ball right in the middle and upper part of the zone. That is a heat check for all these hitters. You don't have to be a righty. You don't have to be a lefty. He's been getting destroyed by the 4-seamer in the season. Valdez, on the other hand, real quick, last start versus Oakland, 7 innings, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. That was the game that the Astros really needed a starter to go deep, and Valdez answered the call. Last year versus the Angels, he had a lot of success against them. Last year against the Halos, 2-0 record with a 2.53 ERA. His last started against Oakland last year wasn't the best, but them 2 starts prior to that, just dominating at Minute Maid Park and at Angels Stadium. Obviously, the no-brainer for him, get the ground ball. It's been his success, his bread and butter, and keep the sinker rolling. I think the last 2 starts, you've been seeing the sinker kind of hit its locations. The command has been there spot on wherever Caratini or Diaz is calling it. So I think that's the only way for Valdez to keep the success rolling in his start.
Okay, I like that. Keep the sinker rolling. Like,
have to, especially the movement that he has on that ball.
mm-hmm.
Magnificent. But Tuesday, real quick, 7:10 start time. You got Griffin Canning for the Angels, 2-4 record with a 5.21 ERA. He'll be going against Christian Javier with a 3.1, 3.23 ERA. So let's talk about Canning real quick. Right-handed pitcher for the Halos. Last start versus the St. Louis Cardinals, 6 innings, 5 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. The key with him is he has a great off speed. He has a great slider, a great changeup, a great curveball. But the changeup has been the success of this season for him. 4 run value on it, the best out of all the other off speeds that he has. Since he's a right-handed pitcher, lefties have the advantage, and he struggles against these left-handed hitters. 376 opponent batting average, a 612 slugging percentage, and he has allowed 3 home runs on the road to left-handed hitters. No righties have hit a home run off of him on the road, only left-handed hitters. Kyle Tucker, John Singleton, and Yordan Alvarez. Maybe we'll see Jordan Luperfido get in the mix, maybe Victor Caratini as well. But the secret off of him, get after him in the first. The first outing through the lineup, you got to get after him. 7.11 ERA. He's allowed 20 hits, 15 earned runs, a WOBA over 400. I think if you're a lefty, you're licking your chops at this point.
Absolutely. And I would add just to attack that fastball. Like you said, he does have great off speed. Make sure he throws it for strikes. Don't change it around and take advantage of that fastball, which has a -4 run value of that. So it hasn't been so sharp.
Yeah, and usually that's when starting pitchers they like to throw that 4-seamer. Altuve being one of the best. I mean, you saw it today, hitting a 4-seam fastball off of Rhea into the Crawford boxes. So attack it and get after him in the first inning. For Christian Javier, on the other hand, his last start versus Oakland was a well-needed start, just like Mr. Framber Valdez. 6 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. He made an amazing adjustment from that last start from Detroit coming against Oakland. We talked about it. Oakland, they are not a bad team. Obviously, the record shows that the Angels are a game worse than Oakland. And Javier did a great job doing that against the A's. Last year versus the Angels, he had a lot of success just like Valdez. 2-0 record, 3.18 ERA. All those games he pitched through the 6 innings. And we've talked about it and we've been vocalizing it about Javier, about this upcoming season that he needs to get through 6 innings to save the bullpen, help the bullpen a lot. And from last year's stats against the Angels, there's a possibility that he could be doing that in his next start coming this Tuesday. Wednesday, 1:10 start time. This should have been a 1:10 start time on Thursday's game. Yeah. It should have been 1:10 on Thursday, but it didn't happen. But Wednesday, it will be happening. Tyler Anderson will be going for the Angels. 4-4 record with a 2.72 ERA. I had to double check that, and I can confirm it is a 2.72 ERA. And then Hunter Brown, on the other hand, 1-4 record with a 7.52 ERA. He's been one of the guys in the Astros rotation that has been struggling so far. But Anderson, real quick, let's give him the news on him. At Texas, 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. That is a shocker because the Rangers offense, you got a guy like Corey Seager, you got a guy like Marcus Semien, Adolis Garcia. They got a really good lineup over there. And he really attacked them, only allowing 2 hits and giving up 1 earned run. That is an amazing job from the left-handed starter. But last year versus the Houston Astros, 2 games, he pitched, gave up a 9.39 ERA. Combined those 2 starts, 7 2/3, 11 hits, 8 earned runs, 11 strikeouts. There's only been 1 Astro to hit a home run in them 2 starts. Angel, can you give it to me? And you are on mute.
I don't know. You can't put me on the spot there. I don't know.
We're gonna go with Kyle Tucker.
Okay.
If I had you on Jeopardy, I think I'd be getting all your money.
Oh yeah, you probably would.
But Tyler Anderson on his sand, I mean, he doesn't throw hard. I mean, this guy throws low 90s on his 4-seamer, and then everything else on his off speeds, 80s. I think I want to say the changeup with the curveball is it's the 70s, late 70s, and like it's 78, 79, 80 miles per hour. But this guy is a road warrior for them. 2.56 ERA. He does perform really well on the road. 168 opponent batting average. On base percentage for the opposing team, a 254. That is very low. My gosh. The off-speed run value is perfect for him. 8 off-speed run value, Angel. The percentile on that on StatCast, 100. That is perfect all the way for the off-speed. And then to testify on the off-speed, great changeup. The changeup has been his second most thrown pitch. It's been his best pitch, I would say. His go-to pitch when he's in trouble. 27 strikeouts, most of any pitch. 181 opponent batting average, 39 whip percentage, and a 29.7 put away pitch. So when you're at a 1-2 count, 3-2, 2-2, or even a 3-1, he's going to throw that pitch because obviously it looks like a 4-seamer, and then it just drops just a little. But Hunter Brown, last start versus Milwaukee.
Well, before you go, just after your major recap for the visiting team's pitching staff, I think the Astros need to put that breaking ball pitching machine on because like most of these guys just had great off speed. So that slider machine, that changing machine, that's probably going to be a lot of work that they're going to be doing.
Yeah, they should be doing that. I mean, obviously, I think that's every major league hitter working on the off speed. But real quick, last start versus Milwaukee, 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts for Hunter Brown. We talked about it before. I don't know what I can say. I mean, all I can say is probably the command that needs to be, pretty darn amazing if it's going to be in the start. Same thing as the fastball command. The guy got to go 4-seamer. If he could place that in the right positions, then there should be no problems in this start. What do you think, Angel?
Just command has been a big factor, and also kind of mixing up his pitches. He's been getting hurt kind of later in the game too, like in the second time, third time around, seeing the lineup. So I think just kind of mixing up the stuff, kind of like trying to be a little bit more deceptive with his pitches, and he can go a long way with that.
Yeah, definitely. But we got a comment right here. Houston X Factor. Once Jose Arrighetti comes back, who loses their spot, Arrighetti or Brown?
Has to be Brown.
Yeah, I think that's right now the way Arrighetti's pitching. Like I said, his last If you go look at his splits in May, he's just looked like a different pitcher. He's only allowed 2 earned runs in 3 of those 4 starts, or 2 of the 3 starts in May. He just looks like a different pitcher right now, and I wouldn't think a spotter would want to mess with that. So, and I think too, Hunter Brown, the bullpen just looks pretty good after that relief appearance in Detroit.
Yeah. But let's move on to the trains. Oh, yeah, another comment? Go ahead.
He had one more. Pena is a black beans, rice, and chicharrones type of guy.
There you go.
Ooh, chicharrones, man. That sounds pretty good.
Do you like soft chicharron like in a taco, like the like pork rinds?
Yes, in a taco. Oh my gosh, dude. That's why I said when he showed that comment, I'm like, that's a chef's kiss. That is a chef's kiss. I love it on my tacos.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with that green sauce on it. Yeah. That's the way to go.
Hungry. Don't make me get hungry.
But let's go on to the train station. I'm gonna say some shots McCormick first, just because I mean, like I did mention it, like he, earlier on, he has gone 1 for 14 through his rehab at bats at Corpus Christi. He DH today and will rejoin the Astros, I believe, this series soon, if not soon. So he should be coming back anytime soon now. Just a matter of when the Astros make that decision, make the official call. But it should be this series here. But before actually I touch any other injury news, some history was made this Saturday's game, which was Justin Verlander moved into 11th place in Major League Baseball's all-time strikeout. He's passed Max Scherzer with 3,368 strikeouts. I think the next person he could pass up is Greg Maddux, and that's a name to put yourself in. Greg Maddux, all-time
the professor, man.
Yeah, he can move up to 10th. Greg Maddux all-time has 3,371 strikeouts. So it's pretty close. Pretty darn close there. And then on Friday, Josh Hader became the 19th pitcher to save games against all 30 teams. Again, like he played most of his career with Milwaukee, so obviously that was the last team he missed. But yeah,
let's play a game real quick. Yeah, let's play a game real quick then. Can you name at least 5 of the 19? 5 of the 19. Let's go.
Dennis Eckersley.
Okay, go ahead. I'm looking for the list. I had it right here, but
I thought you had the list right now. All right.
Well, keep going. I mean, you could keep going. I could find it.
Gossage, Miguel Gossage, Francisco Rodriguez.
Francisco Rodriguez is one. The other two are not. No. Nope. Eckersley or Gossage was not in it. Don't pay attention to the mustaches.
Francisco Rodriguez, Billy Wagner.
Billy's not on there. Billy the Kid is not on.
Papelbon.
Papelbon is on there. I'll give you a hint. Some of these players are still in the league. Kimbrel's another one. Okay. You got 3. You just need 2 more. Like I said, I gave you a hint already.
2 more. Let's be a long time guy. I don't know.
I just gave you a hint. I said they're still in the
league. I
know.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's hard to me.
Kenley Jansen, Edwin Diaz, Aroldis Chapman. No, I gave you 3 actually. Astros' own Jose Valverde was on there.
You know what? I was gonna mention too, but I didn't think that was gonna be one. Trevor Hoffman.
Trevor Hoffman he's not on the list.
No, what?
He is not on the list.
Okay.
Now, I'm not fixing to read this whole list either. But Trevor Hoffman is not on there. But let's move on to the train station.
Yeah, where was I? Oh, rehab updates. Jose Urquidy finished his second rehab start with Double-A Corpus Christi. He threw 59 pitches. I think he needs, according to Brian McTaggart, Urquidy would throw 1 more rehab start in a few days, and I think that should be the last one before he makes goes back. I'm just speculating there, but in my opinion, I think that'll be 1 more, then he's come back. And then Jose Abreu on Astros launch on Sports Talk tonight. Astros general manager Jenna Brown had talked with Robert Ford and on Jose Abreu returning to the ball club. He said there's a chance. Brown said about Abreu rejoining the league in the Oakland series. Maybe we'll see him on Friday, Brown said. So maybe late this week.
Do you see it happening though?
Depending how he does. I think I'm a contradict myself here. I'm a contract. You know how I always said, if minor league production is not really important. I think for a guy for Jose Abreu, I think that is vitally important. So
Oh, so now it's important for a veteran guy like him.
he's not coming back from an injury. He's coming back from because he hasn't been producing. So yes,
Maybe,
I think it's different.
maybe,
Yes,
maybe. But
but
then I don't know if they're gonna put him on a minor league assignment. It'd be
I don't
interesting.
know.
I haven't heard nothing about that yet, and
Me
I
neither.
think that'd be the best move for the Astros to give him some minor league at bats, because right now he's at West Palm Beach facing live hitters.
Mhm.
I'm guessing what from the Florida or what league is that? Isn't there a league over there down there,
I think it's just not the Florida
or just
league,
being at
right?
the and just I don't
Yeah,
I'm not
I
100% sure,
think it's just the Florida league.
but I think he does maybe see some minor league, at get some minor league at bats. I guess you could say for the Space Cowboys if anything.
Yeah. But then I do got one more. Excuse me, injury update. This is per Brian Tiger Presley, who's been gone for a finger. I think he has a no hurting on his ring finger and his throwing hand. He would throw a bullpen today, which is Sunday, and he's been unavailable for the last couple of days. I didn't see any update on that yet, so maybe more to come tomorrow about how it went. That pretty much wraps up Astros. It's just time for Round the Horn, and then you can ready to join us for another podcast later on today, but like later on this week. But no drama in the replay review. I think there's been like besides like the sticky situation, I think the efficiency of replay review has been kind of hit or miss too. I don't know if you saw this play. It was the Cubs versus Pirates, and Cody Bellinger slides in at home, and he was caught safe initially, and it kind of looked like the glove kind of beat him there. But he was ruled safe, like I said. They went to replay review. In my opinion, I think he looked out. I think there was no question about it. But they said there was no evidence to say otherwise, so they kept it safe. What's your opinion on the replay review and how it's been handled so far?
I think he was out. I agree with you on that. And because the ball did beat him there, if you go look at the replay. But I think what they're referring to him being safe is maybe when the ball came out of the catcher's glove or out of his hand. That's the only thing I can think of because he was out. I mean,
Mhm.
the tag was high and his foot didn't get in. It was his leg that touched the plate and not his foot.
Mhm.
So I thought he was out. I don't know. With replay these days, I'm not 100%. Even the Joe Adele one, I don't know if you saw that one,
Yeah,
the one he slid at second. It was very close.
yeah,
But, obviously they don't have all the angles. But that one was kind of clear as day to me. I think
yeah,
honestly that kind of felt like it was out.
yeah. There's been quite a few like it feels like this season where it's just like kind of questionable that either they weren't overturned or, you know, the right call basically wasn't made. So I think that'll be a key like kind of like what to keep track of and keep an eye on that for sure. But we do have a question here. It says, question is, Chaz the victim of our last two coaches not performing him, or is he the victim of his own inconsistency? He saved the Astros ring in 2022 with that catch. I don't know.
Not 100% sure. I just feel like it just depends on the way the players are performing. You're gonna perform if you're gonna have a player right now that has a hot bat like Jake Meyers. I think by all means, if I'm in Joe Espada's shoes, I'm putting him in. You got to play your best players right now that are hitting. Of course, you do need to give the other guys some extra reps. Chas McCormick, especially last year, he was one of the best hitters in the lineup, especially in that bottom part of the order. I think it's just it's a preference too, like the one with Mauricio Dubon. I was telling everybody earlier in the show about Justin Verlander. I feel like he has a preference of having him in the outfield. I think it's just a mix of both. I think you just have the person who has the hot hand or the hot bat, I guess you can say, and preference. I don't think there's nothing been with the managers. I don't think coaches really have any negative things to say about these players. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
This is just my input. This is my thought.
yeah. I'm not saying they prefer him. I don't like that word. I would say they maybe different philosophies. Is what I'm getting at. Like Dusty
Mhm.
Baker believes one thing, Joe Spada believes another thing, right? So the way Dusty Baker run his lineup is it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? So he's gonna interchange people, give different looks here, kind of experiment with the lineup. Whereas so far, where I've noticed with Joe Espada, he's not afraid to give keep the hot hand in the game, which is it just depends where you're coming from. But I think Chas McCormick, honestly, when we talked about him, he's just happy to be on the field, and hasn't really said any negative things about even last year about the way the Buckles being run by the manager or anything like that. It's just more of he's a team guy first, just more like different philosophies from both managers. But
yeah, I mean, too, think about it. Dusty Baker had the righty lefty approach.
yeah.
Now you got Joe Espada in this year, like you're saying. I think that's a perfect way to say it. Different coaching philosophies from different managers. AJ Hinch had his way. Dusty Baker had his way. Now you're getting a new manager in Joe Espada. That's his first year in managing. He's done everything as a bench coach and third base coach and all that other type of stuff. But now you're getting to see him make the moves, make like what changes need to be made. Who's a better fit? Like we talked about earlier, the pitching matchups could be in a way. Chas McCormick was one of the best at hitting left-handed pitching last year. So it just depends. Matchups, hot bat, preference, I guess you can say.
Analytics
as well. This game it's changed. It's changed. Statistics and analytics. Bring on the nerds. Bring on the nerds.
Yeah.
But before we go,
I forgot the surprise.
Give y'all a sneak peek of the giveaway we'll just do tomorrow.
Oh, we're opening it?
Yeah, I'll open it.
No, because I don't know. Because there's people that's like, oh, you open this like the end of the
like
world.
What? Like it loses value or something. I did that at a pop store one time when I went to LA, and I got chewed up.
By like the people that work there?
They're like, you're not supposed to take it out of the box. I'm like, well, how the fuck did I know? I'm just, it's like a collectible. I mean, how am I supposed to know it loses its value? But here we go. We got hard hands. The guy that's been hitting really well for the Astros, besides Jose Altuve, I think he leads the American League in hits, I want to say. He's been hitting the ball really well. And I think he deserves to get his giveaway as Jeremy Pena, Mr. Hard Hands himself. It's like that HEB commercial. Have you seen that HEB commercial when him and Bregman are talking and Bregman's kind of like telling him, does Pena need to give him a bite or something like that? Have you seen it?
No.
Anyway, he does like this. He shakes his head and everything.
Actually, you're right.
I think this is what
he does leave. He does lead the American League in hits with 59, Altuve 58.
You know what he's saying right now? He's saying, yes, I do. Yes, I am.
Of course. Love the confidence.
But we'll be giving this out. Like I said, this could be his first year getting an all-star bid. The way he's performing right now. And I had people tell me that he can't hit 300. Look at the way he's hitting right now. Come on now. You won't be telling me that. But that is all for our show for today. Yeah, it is a long season. There's still a lot of baseball left to play. Just ask the Astros how the way they're performing as a team. 8-2 in their last 10 games, like we said. They've been winning. They won back-to-back series. Well, really back-to-back series. As well as getting their first sweep of the season against the Oakland Athletics. They're playing hot baseball right now at the right time, especially the summer's coming, and this is when they start heating up. So, anything else we want to say, Angel, before we start ending the show?
No, just thank you for listening. Pretty good crowd for this Sunday podcast. Just thank you. Appreciate our support. Subscribe. Tell your friends about us. We try to bring you the best content there is.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 103 subscribers. I know we can build up more off of that. We could build more. 150, maybe another giveaway. 200, maybe another one. It just depends on the support. Like everybody's on here right now. We appreciate your support for everything that y'all do, letting us provide y'all the content, the features, the writing articles, all that stuff. We really appreciate y'all tuning in every series and listening to what we have to say about the Astros. But Astro Craig, real quick before we leave. Go Stros, Houston X Factor. Great job, guys. Joshua himself, great show. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. It's the new week. They're playing the Angels for the last homestand. We'll give you that preview of the upcoming series against, I want to say, the Oakland Athletics, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
And of course, we'll recap that Angels series. But until then, y'all have a safe weekend. Well, y'all already had a safe weekend, but have a safe week. And see y'all later.
Peace.